Welcome to our Behdini Beginners course. This is class number 6. We're going to start in lesson 2 of the Blue Book A and start in section G. So that's on page 35 of lesson 2. Today I'm going to be working through the Zahuli textbook, but it's very similar to the Dahuki textbook. And let me just remind you to always check your answers to all the written things in Appendix S. And if there's anything that might possibly have an audio recording, be sure and listen to that audio recording as this lesson does. Again, the audio recordings are downloadable from the link that's given to you on page 2 of this book. So here's our very short story portion here. Wolf went in front of their gate and said, "My zang, my bang, open the door for your mother." "Go away, you're not our mother. We won't open the door for you because the voice of our mother is light and pretty, and your voice is rough and heavy." "Go away, you're not our mother. Our mother is white and you are black." All right, so here goes in Kurdish. I'm going to let you listen to that in Kurdish with your audio recordings. And starts out Gudig Chu Beded Gehewan, okay? And then also your word list is right here for you to refer to in case you don't know what some of these words mean. Now I would like you, after you listen to the audio recording, go ahead and do that now. Pause this video and then come back. Okay, now that you've listened to the audio recording, now we're going to start in part 2. In our last class, we studied about izafe phrases. And the izafe phrases are already highlighted in the story portion above, like this one right here. Okay, so what we're going to do now, and you can check these answers in Appendix S, but I'll just walk you through this. We're going to underline the izafe endings and double underline the oblique case pronouns. First, let's just do the izafe endings. I'm going to circle them for you. So here's one, dadgehe, one, and it's the E with a hat ending because dadgeh is masculine. So you have to use the masculine izafe ending. And where do we get these izafe endings from? Go back to page 32, and it's right in the middle of the page. The izafe endings for masculine is E with a hat. For feminine, it's an A. And for plural, it's an E with a hat T. 2. Okay? So the reason that dadgeh has an E with a hat ending is because it's masculine. The next one is dagawan. So dake is feminine. Because it's feminine, it has the ah ending. Now, the names of the goats are Zang and Bang, and they must be female goats. So Zangamin, Bangamin. You have the feminine izafe ending. And here again you have Dekaho. Okay, Dek is feminine, so you have that ah ending. Is also Dek, Dekama, Dekama. And then you have Dung, which is masculine, so it has the E with a hat ending. Where's Dung? Dang. There it is, right here in voice. That's masculine. So you're going to have the E with a hat ending for that. And then finally, Dek one more time. Dekama and Dekama. Those are your izafe endings. Now, we're going to double underline the oblique case pronouns. I'm going to circle them for you. Okay, so here's the first one, Dedgehe Wan. And where do we get these pronouns from? Look back at page 22. And you see all these oblique case pronouns. Right? So their door, one. Deka one. Their mother. Zenga min. Benga min. Deka ho. Now here, why do we say deka ho? Okay, let's look and see what it means. Open the door for your mother. What is the subject of this phrase? It's you. My zang, my bang. You open the door for your mother. And since you and your, it's the unspoken you. Since the unspoken you and your are the same person, they use the reflexive pronoun here. Ho. Okay, now the next one is dekama, our mother. You are not our mother. Our mother, dekama, again. And then your voice, dangeta, our mother, dekama, and dekama. All right, then in part 3, you read the text again to someone else. So if you're working with someone, go ahead and pause the Skype video and read the text, the top of the page, right here. Read this text to somebody. If you're not working with anyone, just read it out loud to yourself. Now on the next page, page 36, you can check your answers in Appendix S. You match the Izafe phrase from the story to the English translation. So for example, Dekoma will be our mother. So that's B, so you would write B over here. I'll let you do that now. Check your answers in the answer key, Appendix S, which is in the red book. In part 5, you study the Izafe phrases and write either masculine or feminine to identify the gender of the main nouns. So dung, dungeta. What does that tell you about dung? It tells you it's masculine. So you're going to write an M in there. And you can tell this because of the Izafe ending. Right here, right here, right here, and you'll carry on like that. And that's one way of figuring out what the Izafe ending is. Go ahead and pause the video, do this exercise, and then check your answers in Appendix S. Part 6, you're going to underline the reflexive pronoun. You're going to underline the word reflexive if the following phrases or sentences are reflexive. So let's do this together since this is a little bit tricky. Now, my sister and I. My and I refer to the same person. So in this case, it is reflexive. I'm supposed to underline. It's reflexive. He and his voice. Well, we don't really know because we don't know if we have two men talking. If we have one man talking, he and his refer to the same person. So in that case, it would be reflexive. However, you could have two men talking or two men in the picture, and man number one could be the he, and man number 2 could be his voice. In that case, it would not be reflexive. So context is key in here. You and me. This is not reflexive because you and me are different people. Dawood and Shireen, different people, so not reflexive. The mother goat and her Zhang. The mother goat and her refer to the same character, so it is reflexive. The wolf, their door. Different people, different characters, so not reflexive. Now in part 7, you need to write the correct oblique case pronoun. Is it going to be we, his, one, their, or ho, the reflexive? I'll let you do this on your own. Pause the video, check your answers in Appendix S, and then go on. Now on page 37, we're going to do this Conversations and Storytelling conversation game, and this is the most fun to do if you do it with someone else. All right, remember you start here. The first person reads it in English or Kurdish, however it is, and then you answer it. So if you read it in English, unless it tells you to do something in Kurdish, you answer it in English. All right, so here we go. Count from 1 to 10 in Kurdish. Now, this is on page 18. If you don't remember, just flip over to page 18. There you have it, 1 to 10. Ek, du, say, chor, penj, shash, haft, hasht, nah, da. Say the oblique case pronouns and point to people as you do so to illustrate them. Okay, page 22. So point to yourself, min, point to someone else, ta, we, ma, wa for Zahuli, wa or hawa for Dahuki, one. And then the reflexive is ho. When talking about money, how much is a rib'ak? Go to page 18. Rib'ak is right here. So rib'ak is 250. Sa'at chanda, what does that mean? Now you have to answer it. Page 19. Someone says Sa'at chanda, and you can answer. Right now, Sa'at in Texas, Sa'at du upazda daqa. Or you could say Sa'at du uchorekaka. Rakameta chanda. Page 19 and 23. Rakameta chanda, right here. What's your cell phone number? So remember how to say it. First, you start out with sifir. Hafsad benju ek. Dusaru da. Bistu na shestu se. You do it in that grouping. What is today's date in Kurdish? Okay, page 20. So today is May 30th. So we're going to say, instead of 15, we're going to say 30 here. And instead of 9, we're going to say 5. So today's date is Sihi Binge. I'm going to write it for you. He binge. So this is the Tehuki, this is the Zacho. If it were Tehuki, it would be Si binge. There's the 30. That's Tehuki. So the 30, this part, and then the I with a hat, and then the month, which is May. The month number, I should say. Okay. How do you say this in Kurdish? What day is today? Okay, flip over to page 24. What day is today? Here we go. This is the Tehuki text. Avruchi Ruja, or Avruchi Taricha, or Avruchendi Heveya. What day is today? Pick one of those. Learn all 3 of them, but pick one of those to learn. How do you say this in Kurdish? When is your birthday? Page 23. Hangi Eid Miladatea. Hangi Eid Miladatea. And remember the footnote 1. When a word ends with a and is followed by ya, the sounds like a. So teya instead of taya. What is kangi in Kurdish? Page 23.
Kangi? Ne zaman? When?
Dave just walked in. Kangi. Where are my question words? Here we go, right here. Kangi, when?
What do you say in Behdini?
Kangi.
Kangi.
Mm-hmm. What is chand in Kurdish? Chand is how much or how many. Again, that's on page 23. How do you figure out if a noun is masculine or feminine? So for that, you're going to go to page 31. And this little thing here up at the top, this tells you. Let's study that again. So you ask this question to your language helper. This is the Tehuki that I'm looking at. Kish gyadrista. And then you put your word here and you add one of the endings. Take a guess. and then you do it again and you add the other ending. So if you want to figure out the gender of book, which is kitab, you say kish gyadrista, kitabamen on kitabemen. And then you just listen to however they answer, and they're going to say kitabamen. They might say it quickly, so you have to listen carefully for that little ending right there, and that's how you figure out the gender. How do you say which day in Kurdish? Page 24. Which day? Down here in part 6. Kishkruj. Which day? What does this mean in English? Vi qalami. Page 27. So if qalam is pen and V is this, then vi qalami means this pen. And again, it would be, because qalam is masculine, then you choose the this, which is masculine, to make the phrase, vi qalami. And they both end in I with a hat, so that's logical. How do you say or in Kurdish? At the bottom, do the miscellaneous words, on. And then when they write it, they write yawn. And when they read yawn, but when they talk, they say on. What are the izafe noun endings for nouns that are masculine, feminine, and plural? Page 32. So the masculine ending is a or ye. Feminine is a or ya. Plural is eight or yate. How do you say whose in Kurdish? Pages 27 and 33. Let's jump to page 33 here. Whose? Here we go. Whose is this? So it depends on the gender of the thing that you're talking about. If you're looking at a pen, which is masculine, qalam, then you would say ye. Sorry. Whose is K. Doesn't matter the gender, the person. The thing that you're talking about is the ye. Whose, K. K. Whose children. What does this mean in English? Malawi Galak Mazina. 34. So Malawi if Malama means our family, then Malawi would mean his family. Mazen means big, and then is your verb. So his family is really big. What are the izafe pronouns for nouns that are masculine, feminine, or plural? That's a repeat of, those are the pronouns. Okay, so page 32. So the pronouns are the ones that stand alone. So if it's masculine, the pronoun is ye. Feminine, pronoun is ya. Plural, the pronoun is yate. Those can be used like relative pronouns in English. What does bus mean? You'll hear, especially mothers, say this all the time to their children. Bussa, bussa. Page 27. It's down at the bottom. There we go. It means but. It also means enough. That's the context I was referring to. But the simple form of it, bus, means but. If you say basa, let me write it for you. Basa means it is enough. What does this mean? Ya mina. Okay, go to page 33. So here, ya wia, that means that is his. Ye mina means that is mine. So I could say ya mina, and that would mean that feminine thing is mine. What does this mean in English? Ava mala mina, page 34. Ava chezana mina, or ava mala mina. This is my family. Mal can mean house, or it can mean family. Let's look back at section D, where the vocabulary is. On page 27. Mal means home or family. I didn't put chezan on this list, but means family. And finally, when do you use ho as an oblique case pronoun? Page 35. Here at the top, it explains it. You use ho when the same person is referred to twice in a phrase, and the second reference is possessive. Like, I and my sister are twins. You go to your own home. Those are the same people. Okay, page 38. Storytelling. So prepare to talk to a new friend. Using the template below, and your dictionary to look up words to substitute for the bolded words. Modify the conversation to make it true for yourself. Write the modifications in the column on the right. So you can start out with Chawani Bashi, as Basham to Chawani, and then Shule Tachia, what's your job? And here you're going to substitute whatever your job is, substitute that word there. If you don't find it in the dictionary, you can text me and ask me. If you are watching this video a long time after it's made, here's my email address. Text me, message me, and I'll help you figure out what your occupation is. So you would write that word here. And then remember, if your word ends in a vowel sound, you're going to choose ma. If it ends in a consonant, then you choose m for your verb. Okay, so you would just continue on with this. After you fill in all these blanks, then practice this with your language helper. In part 2 on page 39, you rewrite the whole conversation and practice it with your language helper. Page 40. This is a writing exercise. You write the sentences in the correct order, then say them aloud. Remember, the order of the words should be subject, object, verb. And you can check your answers in Appendix S. In part 2, you write simple sentences and check them with your Kurdish friend. Section K, pretend to talk to the receptionist of a language school and register as a student for private lessons with a Kurdish teacher or a language helper. Answer the questions in Kurdish, modeling your answers after the examples in the third column. So this is a role play thing. Here's the third column, right here. Do this with your language helper or friend. These should all be recorded in your audio recordings. Finally, for homework, you can complete the things that are listed here and be sure to study the new Unit 1 wrap-up on the transparent language for the next lesson. Do some work in your vocabulary. And definitely work with your appendices in your red book, Book B. All of these things, you can work on all of these things. Don't understand how to do something, please message me and let me know, and I can help you with that. Here is a way to quiz yourself on Kurdish script numbers. And then if you have the green workbook, Book C, you can work through these assignments here. That is the end of our lesson for today. So I hope your language studies are going really well for you. Persevere. And if you have any questions, be sure and message me and let me know that I can address individually. Have a great day. Bye for now.